Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? I guess hopefully you're doing better than DDG. Man, I wish I could say something different at the beginning of every video, but it seems like that seems like to be the best time to read on somebody when they're just going through troubled times. I mean, like they always say, if your life was honestly going perfect and great, would you honestly go to a tarot reader? So I guess there has to be something wrong for me to be talking about these people. So therefore, that is the reason why I'm here today to talk about DDG. Now, this is quite interesting, peculiar, even if you could say. Oh, there goes my doggy, Sky. Um, I'm not sure if you can hear her barking. However, I know if only it was my little kitty cat running across the floor. However, all animals aside, wow, weird, weird. I'm talking about felines and canines today. You know, that female masculine energy. However, because I'm talking about DDG and Holly Bailey. I almost called her Barry, but yeah, it seems like DDG. Sorry, guys. It seems like DDG is the way it's going out in the media is that DDG is talking on the live streams about how he cannot collaborate with particular female artists. One in particular was named Glorilla, which I think I would like to see that collab, honestly. However, he says that he is unable to really collab with female artists without them having to scream past his ex. Now, please tell me if I missed it, but I don't think he specifically said Holly in that clip. He just said his ex. So that could just mean anybody, because wasn't he like talking? Isn't and somehow Ruby Rose? Somehow Ruby Rose is in this. Ruby Rose wants DDG back. Like, listen, DDG. I don't know what you're doing over there. For real, bro. I don't know what's going on with you over there and over here talking about Haley, but it seems like with Holly, it comes down to the fact that he feels like he's maybe being controlled. His career can't grow, yet Holly's career can grow. But DDG, you're a YouTuber. You pretty much grow that when you're on it. He does go ghost off of YouTube sometimes, but he always tries to keep coming back. He definitely has a name in the industry. A lot of people come on his live stream. I just saw what's her name, Danielle Bergoli on there. Now that was an interesting one to see on his show. I was like, wow, DDG and Bad Baby. That is an interesting combination. Now, if we're going to get a DDG and a Bad Baby collaboration, that would be interesting. I'm not sure if Holly or his ex would approve of that, but we know at least not Bad Babies and Man Steer like some other people. However, JK, no beef. It's not even true or allegedly, but the thing is, I'm going to be reading about DDG and seeing how he feels, just what's going on with him and Holly. How does he feel? He feels like he's still attached, like Holly is controlling him, maybe even manipulating him. It sounds like it's like once she had the baby, she had full control over him, and it's just like that's what he's coming off as. So as I've shuffled these cards as much, let me pick this first card, the Hangman. Say less, honestly. Right underneath the Hangman, we have, okay, I'll just keep the cards, whatever cards come upside down, we'll see. We have the Three of Wands. Oh, the Fool. That's interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's continue looking. The Nine of Pentacles. Okay, there's two ways I can look at this. I like this new look that I have for the Hangman. Okay, the Future is the the Five of Pentacles. Galactasy is not another major arcana card. So actually right there, I'm working to find a new style to read cards. So I'm just going to start off this 5 basic outline and see what we can go from here. in this very moment, DDG, in regards to Holly, his whole career, his love life, just him, period. He's in a hangman position. He feels as though he needs to, let me get a better meaning for you guys about what the hangman represents. The hangman represents wisdom, trials, circumception, discernment, sacrifice, intuition, divination, and prophecy. I do like all those things. So basically, that's what the hangman represents. Exactly that. A time of taking out, a time to collect your thoughts, a time to read. It's kind of like the high priestess, but not so going within and going in so darkly and going into like the deep depths of your soul, but more just really taking time to reflect on just your present moment. Literally, the hangman, present moment. That's the present. How are you feeling in this very moment? What is getting you down? What is your motives? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? That's basically like the hangman is. Take some time out to think about your situation and what you have done and how you've gotten yourself up here. And the best way DDG is feeling at this very moment about he's trying to gain insight. Maybe he's trying to work with Holly, I'm just going to say it's Holly because honestly, he's doing a lot of talking now that he's no longer with Haley, and he's trying to make her sound like a complete control freak. And I'm not sure that's the case. However, we see here that right now that he is separated and he's no longer connected to Holly, maybe he's seeing her in a different light, even seeing her as somebody that he was once blinded by the beauty, the glitz, the glam, how she had everything together. And the best way I could say this is I don't want to call her like arm candy, but the fact that she completed his status and his image. Like he was already rising up in fame. Why not get with the Disney star that is on the rise, Holly baby? Wow. Holly Bailey. Wow. Yeah, get with Holly Bailey. She's up and on the rise. She loves you, you love her. You guys want to have to come together and have a whole family, have a whole unit, have this future together. Literally, the future that he once saw is literally upside down. He was just like, what happened to the dream? What I was once hold up. There we go. What I was once envisioning, what I once had in my dream, what I was planning in the future, what I was envisioning everything me and Holly was going to be, everything that I saw her to be. Maybe I was head over heels. I was awestruck. I was just all wrapped up in her beauty and her essence, her energy, who she was. I do call her a modern day siren, if you ask me. So I understand exactly what DDG is talking about, getting wrapped up in her aura. If you want to think about it, if we're thinking about serpents and stuff like that, maybe even a little bit of like Medusa, but not so maybe misunderstood. Maybe that's how Holly feels herself as Medusa. People are seeing her as, at least the way DDG is trying to paint her as. Wow, how did Holly manage to bogart her way into this reading? Wow, yikes. But she feels as though DDG sees her as Medusa, as somebody who's trying to paint the picture of that you got wrapped up in her energy. You Erica Badu'd her. Like that's how he's basically feeling. You Erica Badu'd me. Like I got all wrapped up, I got all confused, I got all lost. And then now it's like we had this child and we had this whole vision for what we was going to be, and it's done. Like I said at the beginning, we got to remember, how did DDG get himself in this position? Because he's not all squeaky clean either. I could have sworn there was some rumors on the street that he was cheating, she was cheating, somebody was cheating, somebody was not faithful. There was some infidelity, and rightfully so. I could kind of see where Holly Bailey is coming from, because DDG does have a whole lot of girls on his show, and he is a very attractive man. Why wouldn't some girl try to hit on him, especially because he surrounds himself with females? But also, as Holly herself, she should have some security within herself to have trust in her man, unless her man is untrustworthy, which I understand in your early 20s. There is kind of a lack of trust, so I totally get it. And that's where this fool is coming in. He felt like he was jumping into this relationship, into this parenthood. Not that he regrets it, like some people out here. Yay. But he feels as though he jumped into this a bit prematurely. He really didn't fully think this through. He was just engrossed by the energy. He wanted to take a trip. He wanted to jump down the rabbit hole. He wanted to see what it was like. And yeah, he figured it out, and he might not have worked with it and manipulated it the best way he wanted it to, because he did come in there not fully prepared. I mean, the fool is always prepared, but you got to figure out how the fool goes throughout the journey. Just because you come in like a blank slate and you got like everything and nothing all at once, you're still encountering new things that is unfamiliar to you, new territory, uncharted territory, something that maybe even this like conscious life existence you've never experienced, but maybe it's something that you need to in order to grow and evolve. Those kind of fated destinies, like, not that this person's like your soulmate and you're supposed to be like happily ever after and be like married forever to death do us part. No, even though that's always the great thing to get, it's the sense of feeling fated and destined, is the fact that this was supposed to be a defining point. That when you look back over your life, when you're about to get ready to go through your third Saturn return, you're getting ready to be in your 80s and 90s and facing death, that you can look back at these moments where you're just like, oh yes, I remember having that child with Holly. Yeah, I remember that. You can pinpoint those turning points and see where your life completely branched, took an alternative route. Basically, that's all that to say. That's exactly how DDG is feeling in this moment, in the sense, the fact that this moment with Holly was something that was defining for his growth, for his development. Probably Holly too. It was both equally it was both equal in their parts. They did come together and create something after all. So there was something. It takes two to tango. And they both love their child so much. And it's great to see them co-parent. But there's also that lingering, that nostalgia of thinking about what it used to be, what it could have been, how it should have been, why it isn't have. It's just all the what ifs. And it's just like something that can really drive you crazy. And we see here in the future, poor little sad Five of Pentacles. But not all is lost, even though it's a whimpered flower. It still has some life to it. It's not completely dead. You just gotta nurture it. You gotta bring it back to life. Gotta add that water. Gotta put some of that. Figure out that magician and how to work that energy to get it where he needs to go. So, all that to be said, I was really talking about his love life, but in the sense of his career, he feels as though is it even fair to say that his identity and his career is wrapped up and tied up to the Holly Bailey? Like, I know he had a career, he had a following, he was a rapper, he was known. That's how he got to get to know Holly Bailey. He was in the entourage, he was in the circles, he was in the rooms and places and spaces that she was. So he wasn't a nobody, because Holly's a something. And in order to be around something, you have to be a something. So he definitely was a thing. And he just happened to find something that maybe was just like a half an inch step above where he was. And he got to get a taste of a little bit more lavish life. I mean, we've seen DDG. He is a very lavish, expensive spender. Where's those bucks going, bro? I don't see you spinning a whole lot of videos making not movies, but making music videos or making music. Yeah, he wants to get back into the music industry. He's more of a content creator than a musician at this point. For real, honestly. So because of that, it's just interesting that he's still trying to find his place and footing in the industry. DDG does not know what he really wants, honestly. He truly does not. I don't think he knows what he wants, because one moment he's a content creator, one time he's a magician. It's just like, which one are you going to do? You're trying to do both, and he's even complained about how he's like, oh guys, I'm so sorry I abandoned you. I know I did, but for y'all that are still here, I'm gonna make these videos. I'm gonna keep coming back for you guys. I mean, he's more like what? He's more of a Twitch streamer, if anything. Now he's more on the lines of Kai Snat. If you ask me, that like that's the trajectory and career that I see DDG going down. So because of that, with well, he has the personality to sell that kind of content. So let's just find these cards out to see, because he's really feeling like Holly and her energy and her presence has really taken and infiltrated his career, that he can't even, sorry guys, that he can't even get collabs. He can't even, Bia was upset. She was like, man, that video went viral, and because of that, you're messy, you're getting me on your drama. I'm not all about that. That stuff was like 5 years ago and everybody think it's now current. And it's just like, it's like when you come to DDG, you're going to get a little bit of mess. And is it because of his ex, or is it just because of what he surrounds himself with and the energy he's attracted to? That's a question for another story. However, what I see here at the very moment for DDG, his career, his future, his love life, I see summer. And the first word that pops out to me is abundance and growth, and then vitality and warmth. Okay, all the words stood out to me, but all that stands for the fact that it's just going to get, it's going to get better here from this point. Abundance, you can't go wrong with abundance. Warmth, you can't go wrong with warmth. Nothing dies in warmth unless you keep this rose a little bit too warmed up. All the fact that this is summer and that this is all about vitality, keeping something alive, keeping something youthful. The Five of Pentacles that was once is going to be his future, where he was withering out, where he was feeling like where he was feeling as though it was overwhelming or too much. Or he was going to be feeling that way when it comes to having to navigate co-parenting and trying to navigate his career, trying to navigate, I guess, trying to have a breather from Holly the best he can, if that's the best way we could put it. And all that is that vitality. It's only going to be as bad as he perceives it to be. So if he chooses to change his perspective on it, like the Hangman is suggesting, then he doesn't have to see it in a negative light. And then negative light brings down vitality. It brings down life. It's like they say, is a wet blanket, a damper, a Debbie Downer, right? Got to rain on my parade kind of thing. The Five of Pentacles. That's literally what I get. Just sad face. And it's something that you can overcome. It's something that is not end all be all, but it's also the middle. So you kind of feeling it. It's like trying to weigh the balance, the pressure of having to weigh the balance, maybe trying to keep it all together, trying to keep it elegant, keep it cute. I know that's really weird to say for like a guy's read, but in the sense of trying to look like he has it all together, that he's not bothered by the fact that he lost his relationship, basically his family unit that he envisioned, he was planning for, he was dreaming of. Basically, the future he wanted is no longer what it was supposed to be. So now he has to regather his footing. It's kind of like it's like a misstep, a mid-footing, like the fool went to go jump and then the fool slipped while jumping, kind of thing. That's how he's feeling. It's just like something went wrong here, and I don't know where it went wrong or how it went wrong, but I just want to evolve from this and get past this situation. And hopefully for that, I'm going to see that grow for him, especially because this rose here in the Five of Pentacles only symbolizes growth once you're able to get past this hard patch. And maybe it's just because the fact that he's so vocal now, that this is going to bring some sort of clash between him and Holly until then after that little situation happens in the future, then they're going to be able to move forward. It's like you got to sometimes address that bull head on before you can move past it. However, I'm going to pull one card, just one card for Holly. How is Holly in all of this? Is she controlling DDG? Does she not? Is she protective? Does she not want him collaborating with other women? Is she insecure? What is with Holly? Oh, okay. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. The red rose. The red rose. Literally. For the future, red rose. And like I said, vitality, abundance, growth can't, like I said, maybe he has to get a little bit loud and boisterous for maybe to Holly to really get the essence and sentiment, but it really does seem like that from her perspective, it's just all out of passion. It's all out of love, baby. It's nothing personal. She really truly does love these kids. And like I said when she came out with that song, Because I Love You, she wasn't kidding. It's all because I love you, babe. Don't forget that. That's why I'm doing all of this, because I love you. If I seem a little bit crazy, if I seem a little bit obsessed, if I seem a little bit toxic, it's because I love you. So with that kind of intense love and passion, yeah, he's got himself in a little chokehold, doesn't he? So he's going to figure it out, but he truly does love her back. Like I said, he wanted this future. He wanted to have the wife, have the kids, have the career, just have it all, but it didn't work out that way. And sometimes it's just the way the person moves. He moves in the situation. But like I always keep saying throughout this video, it takes two to tango. She could not be all perfect herself too. Why would he be talking about? I mean, I know people talk bad about their exes just so they can make themselves feel bad, put somebody else down and rise yourself up. But honestly, let's be so for real here. Why would he truly want to talk bad about Holly and lie on his baby mama? Why would he want to do that? So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Holly. Why gosh, she is just staying on this. I hope you enjoyed this reading on DDG. I sure did. Apparently I got a little bit of Holly too. That was a little bit unintentional, but hey, he still is involved in her life and is still a part of, because A, they have to co-parent, but B, also just because he really wants to. They truly do look happy when they're around hanging out with the babies, but that's just for camera. We don't know what it's like behind closed doors, but it definitely does seem like he really maybe kind of could want Holly back. Maybe he's out here trying to do some childish games and really is playing it down and dirty, trying to make Holly jealous of all these females. Like, okay, now that we've broken up, now I'm going to have all these girls around me. You can't tell me nothing about it. Could be even that kind of little tit for tat going on that they're still dealing with. So that being said, I hope after all, they are in their early 20s. So it takes some time to evolve out of those stages. So I hope you enjoyed that reading on DDG. I sure did. Please leave your comments down below on how you feel about DDG and how he's going on a internet rant about what's going on in behind closed doors. It seems like, do you feel like Holly is controlling? Do you feel like this gave you a different perspective on Holly? Do you think that, were you believing DDG at first, or do you not believe him anymore? Like, hey, let me down in the comments. That being said, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't given it a thumbs up already. It would really mean a lot, please and thank you. But what would mean even more is a subscription. Yes, Lady Crone and I would really love that. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Oh, the beautiful sunflowers covered. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on DDG. I sure did. And with that one, I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Sunflowers!